All right, everybody, welcome to the Savannah Business Show. No, take that back. Welcome to the Razzcast. It's a habit. Welcome to the Razzcast, podcast in Savannah, where I interview interesting people. I'm Raz, your host, and I'm here with Miss Sherry Daniels and Mr. Harold Tessendorf. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Awesome. All right, Harold is with the Coastal Empire Habitat for Humanity, and Sherry is with Roto-Rooter Savannah.
Yes.
Yes. And we are here to talk about a lot of things. We'll get into your background and everything, as we usually do. But we also want to talk about the the Royal Flush Casino Night. Yeah.
Yes.
So I guess tell me a little bit about that. I was there last year and it was awesome.
I was there last year too. Imagine that.
And I will be attending this year, so I'm really looking forward to experiencing all this fun that you keep telling me.
It's hysterical. It's how do you go have a great night and go home feeling like you did something really wonderful, and it's the best, and the tickets are so reasonably priced. And last year there was, people had the best time because it's unlimited bar access with excellent liquor for those that want.
Yeah.
The food is phenomenal, and you have 15 tables of gaming. So everything from a craps table to, what was it, blackjack? And I know we had a Texas Hold'em high roller table. And it was so much fun. A band. And I've never seen anything like it where they were line dancing. It was crazy. Half the place was like this huge mass of people dancing. I couldn't get over it. I was working an awful lot last year. This year I'm bringing an extra person so I can get out there and have some fun too. Right. I really enjoyed it. And we're bringing the same band back because they did, such a good job. But there are changes. Changes.
What are the changes? What did you add? What did you take away?
Well, the prizes are a lot better this year. We've had such a response with vendors and people wanting to set up things. So last year, I think it was 3,500 worth of prizes. This year, it's over 15,000.
Wow.
And we really kind of got I did a little late run on things. So do I need to speak up?
No, you're fine.
Can they hear me?
You're fine. Just get a little closer to you.
I'm just a dainty little girl. Okay. Anyway, it's exciting to be able to see it. The response has been tremendous. For our first year, the turnout, the coverage, every magazine, the TV stations, it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I'm on a diet because I had no idea how much my picture would be taken. I got to get in shape. But it just, when you think about this year, every year the Royal Flush Casino Night is something that we came up with where we choose a different charity every year. Not that we won't go back and revisit, but I'm just super stoked. I can't think of a better combination than Habitat for Humanity and construction industry. And,
right.
And I am appealing to people in construction, get involved. This is the night for us all to get involved, come together and support Habitat, amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Harold, how, I guess tell us about Habitat for Humanity's involvement with it and if you're excited about it, if you're not excited about it, tell us a little bit.
How can I not be excited about it? We're humbled and honored, Sherry, that you and Roto-Rooter has selected us this year to benefit from this event. Our board has been engaged in the process since we were made aware of it. They've got out to assist already with some of the fundraising towards that, with some of the tables, the sponsorships and that. And I've really seen a lot of excitement. So I'm already seeing that from their part. So we really are looking forward to this event, to seeing, and it's always such a pleasure when you are when a well-established organization or company reaches out to us and says, hey, can we do something for you? Because what this is going to allow us to do is the proceeds that come out of this event are going to allow us to open the doors of affordable home ownership for a another 7 families in Chatham County this year.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yay. Sorry.
How long have you been with Habitat?
So I have been working here with the Coastal Empire Habitat for Humanity since 2016. Coastal Empire Habitat is one of the oldest affiliates in the United States. It was founded in 1983, which is just 7 years after the founding of Habitat for Humanity itself as an organization. But I've worked throughout Georgia since 2001. This is the 3rd Habitat affiliate that I've worked with.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I remember volunteering in college, so I had to help build a home, which was pretty cool.
Well, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
And that's often how so many people become involved with Habitat. They start at college, with a college build day. It's really exciting to me, given this affiliate's now over 30 years old. A number of our current board members are certainly younger than me, which is good because that talks a lot to the vitality of the organization. But they had exactly that same route. They came on because of college or a parent who was involved with a Habitat affiliate in the community where they were born and raised.
That is awesome. I mean, you do feel like you're doing something good when you're doing a Habitat. Whenever you feel depressed, they always say, go do something for somebody else. That's what, my dad always told me. If you're feeling down, go help somebody else.
That's exactly right. Yes.
And that's what Habitat provides, and that's what Royal Flush is providing.
Well, now, I have several illnesses, and everybody that gets to know me knows this. And I was having to lay in bed flat to let spine heal very early in life. And my friend came up. Back then, we didn't have all these phones. You had the dial phone.
Right.
Dead giveaway. Anyway, she said, call this lady. She's in pain and sick. And call her and encourage her. And that's how it started for me, was reaching out to help others and what that feels like. It's like cleaning a house. It was nasty, and you see some immediate results. You go out with someone else, your focus is off yourself. It changes everything. Yeah. Just like going to a clean room. And when you talk about having your home, when you start talking about building, and my heart, because this is how I am, goes to the people that are going to be going in there.
Right.
And what that feels like. A friend just had a new baby, and that changes your home. We just going into, and it's your place, it's home, and how amazing that can be. No matter how humble, it doesn't matter. It's yours. It really is. And so when you talk, I'm translating that into how is it in the experience of the people that we're trying to help. And I guess we have stories. I mean, how do you determine who you'll be helping?
Right. So two things, and remind me to come back and talk a little bit more about that impact, because you hit on such a key point about what owning a home allows a family to do. But how we select our home buyers is that we work with all habitats, and there's about 1,200 affiliates across the United States. We're one of them, and Habitat's also active in 69 other countries around the world, so a total of 70 countries around the world. But we all work based on 3 criteria. The first one is we look at need. So what is the current housing situation that a family finds themselves in? We work with households that earn between 35 and 60% of the area median income for that given community. So here in Chatham County, that for a household of 4, that's going to be an annual income that falls between $25,100 and $43,020.
With the numbers. I love it.
I wrote that down. I knew, because that's always been my benchmark. But those numbers change every year because they're issued by HUD, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. So need is the first criteria. The second criteria is ability to pay. So a household has to have a steady source of income that's going to allow them to make a regular mortgage payment to Habitat for Humanity for that home. And the third criteria that we use is a willingness to partner. And the way in which we measure that is through sweat equity. So just to say, if a household is falling between those criteria, people may say, well, why do you choose those in that income range? Essentially, a household that's in that income range may have a steady source of income. They're already paying a lot for rent, but they will not qualify for a conventional mortgage. Okay, so this is meeting a need that the conventional banking sector is not meeting. So they contribute 350 hours of sweat equity, working on the construction of their house, the house of other homeowners. That's often working alongside volunteers, acquiring a lot of those skills that's going to allow them to maintain their home. And so many times that also gives people the confidence to go back.
Funeral.
We good?
Yeah, we're good now.
So that allows people to go back to do things like go to college. So a lot of times it gives the home buyer that confidence to do that. So we bring together those partner families. We bring them together with donors, right? Like the proceeds from this event, in-kind donations and volunteers. We build a safe, energy-efficient home. Our houses here are around 1,200 square feet of heated and cooled space. That's our 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom home. When the house is completed, we sell it to our partner families at no profit and no interest. Those monthly mortgage payments that they make to us, we add to more donations, allow us to build more homes. And so thus far, we've served 151 homes, partner families. We're finishing up a house just down the street from here. Nice. It's actually finished. Here on Skidaway in Bayberry.
Maybe that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Celebrating.
No, not yet. Not yet. We've just completed the construction, but that will be our 152nd home that we've completed since the founding of this affiliate.
Wow.
Since 1983.
Wow. How many homes do you build on average a year then?
We generally vary between 4 and 7. We've generally, for many years, we're around 4 homes a year, but we've steadily increased that to 5. This past year, we did 7. And so our projection this year is to continue doing that. The majority of our homes have been built within the city limits of Savannah. Okay. But we've also now building not only in Savannah, but also in Garden City. As well, because both of those local governments want to see more investment in home ownership. Our here in Chatham County, we have an affordable housing crisis in the sense that our supply of affordable units and the demand for them are out of kilter because there's so much economic activity happening, and people are moving here to search for that. That's driving up rents. So one of the things that has struck me, this is the third affiliate I've worked with, has been the fact that in the other 2 affiliates I worked in, a lot of people had a stable place where they were living prior to becoming a Habitat homeowner. May not have been the safest, but they had a place. What we find here is the vast majority of the people who apply to be a Habitat homeowner and who are selected either are living in public housing or they're living with a family member or friend, which is one form of homelessness.
Yes.
So when they're able to own a home and it's at an affordable mortgage payment, what that does is it gives them that stability. It gives them their children that stability. And that's where we start seeing better health outcomes, better education outcomes, people going, finishing high school. And now all of a sudden that family also has an asset, right? They have a form of wealth that does that. But, if you think about it, I mean, I was in my driving over here, I was thinking a lot about, Roto-Rooter is into the plumbing, right? I mean, you're into the plumbing business, right? You don't see the plumbing, but it's critical, right? It's critical.
Don't get me started.
It's critical to make things happen. And it's the same if you think about it. It's such a good metaphor in a way also for the importance of home ownership, because when people have that stability, all these other benefits happen. So the value of neighboring properties goes up. Children do better in school. People are more likely, because they've got that stability, to be much more successful at their places of work. So you have this ripple effect, not just on that particular family, but on the neighborhood around it. Values go up, we all benefit.
Yes, I love it. But I've been into home ownership. It was one of the first things I did was go out and get the first home I could, because it, like you said, the equity you're building. I'm assuming that everybody understands that before you get into this program, you understand there's sweat equity and then there's continued equity.
Right.
And what that does for you, you don't continue to have rent, the raising of the rent, and you're locked in, and like you said, that's all those kind of details are where your stability comes from, and the sure knowledge that I have a home. It's just incredible what it can do to the whole attitude of where you are positioned in this world. I'm sure the discouragement, the feeling like, how will I ever, the mountain's too high. And that is, I'm thinking, part of the problem in that particular scenario where they've honed in on for readiness for this program is, how do you ever save up enough money for a down payment to reach that mark?
Right.
Very difficult.
Right.
And I love this. The more I know, the happier I get. It's so smart. It's set up. It's so smart.
Well, for me, I mean, in the habitat world, we talk about catching habititis.
No,
and
I'm leaving. I'm out of here.
All of us, kind of you get up every day because of the impact that you're making. And also, I think the other thing is a lot of people who come out, so our regular volunteers who come out and volunteer with us, do that as well, because they build that friendship. They build friendships because of that. They get to know people, but it's all those feelings, right?
Yeah.
I'm doing something positive. It's an opportunity to engage more people.
I'm curious. I'm curious, like, what factors would hold you back from doing more homes, or is this like the most efficient way to do it?
So I think that as we look at it, habitats are in each community. We are all looking at the question of how can we do more. We recognize we have to do more. So the obvious things are having enough land to be able to build on. So hopefully with the Blight Initiative, with the SPLOST that this community approved, and that's going to help free up more land. So land is one issue. Of course, it's always going to be financing, and how can we circulate that funding more quickly.
Gotcha.
But also our model for many habitat affiliates, but not exclusively, of course, has been the suburban type of model, right? So you've got a house. You've got some land around it, etc. I think a number of affiliates, we're looking in San Francisco. Ironically, when I talk to my counterparts that are in New York, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Savannah's issues of rising rents and things just becoming more and more unaffordable is very similar. So they're looking at things like the accessory dwelling units. Okay. How can we do things like that? Looking at more dense housing. Yes. But again, I think for a lot of people, when you talk dense housing, how can we build more housing closer together? A lot of people still say, yeah, but the American dream is, I'm going to have a little bit of space between me and the person next door.
I was going to say an end unit.
Yeah.
In a condo. I would go for the end unit.
Yeah, we all want to go for the end units, right? That's kind of where I am at. Yeah. So I think that those are some of the limits. It's of doing that. The other thing as well is also, of course, we're blessed at the moment in our community. We are seeing wages rise, which for a long time were low. That helps.
Right. Yes,
that's certainly going to help make housing people more likely, as long as we can get more housing supply into the market. But many of my counterparts in other parts of the country where there's not as much economic growth, they're battling.
Yes,
people are battling to afford.
Gotcha. Another question. So I'm a millennial, I think. And so like millennials, we jump from job to job and go from this opportunity to this opportunity, but you've been with Habitat for 20 years now. Mm-hmm. So what keeps you at Habitat? Like why, what about the mission of Habitat keeps you there?
So I think the mission, for me, what attracted me to Habitat for Humanity, and I'll tell a short story to be able to do that. So my family and I were living and working in Mozambique in 1998 to 2000, and we ended up in that part of Mozambique, in North Mozambique, was very close to Malawi. My in-laws were flying in from the United States to visit their new granddaughter. And we ended up staying at a hotel in Malawi where the hotel group had done an analysis of their workforce, where were their workers living, and found they were living in shacks. And they went, why would somebody want to come to Malawi to enjoy the lake and all that when their workers had no access to running water or even a latrine or anything like that? So they partnered with Habitat for Humanity to build their workforce housing. And then they wrote about it in the hotel book. So I didn't have anything to read. I opened that in-house magazine, the type you only want to read if you have nothing else to read. And there was a story about Habitat, and that was the start for me. And so when we came back to the United States, I decided I wanted to work with either Habitat or Heifer Project, and the opportunity came with Habitat.
Awesome.
But for me, I think it talks to it's an opportunity to put your faith into action. I like that. And then also just the fact that it's a crazy kind of functional business system. I mean, there's a lot of business discipline that goes into making Habitat work. We've got to get things, we've got to build a quality product as efficiently as we can. Yeah. We have to be very wise stewards of the resources that donors entrust to us. But I was really captured by the whole fact that you change somebody's life when they have that stability.
Bingo. Yeah. It's like mama and daddy. That's what I was thinking. if you don't have mom and daddy to help you get that down payment and get you into a home, if you're in the right category, that's it.
That's very true.
Yeah. It's you didn't ask me how I got into Roto-Rooter.
I was coming to you.
You're dying. You want to hear it?
Oh, absolutely. Go ahead.
I think I remember, but from my last interview. But go ahead. I'm not going to try and mess it up. How did you get into Roto-Rooter?
I was going on a date with a cute guy. Okay. He was anyway, before he left, he said he had to go do a service call. So I hopped in a car with his sister and we rode over there, and they were pumping a septic tank. So I ended up spending most of my first date with this guy, sitting on a picnic table in a backyard of a residential home, watching them pump a septic tank. And I loved it. There was something wrong with me. I loved the truck. I thought everything was fascinating.
That's awesome.
So I don't know what that means, but I've never left. It's been many, many years. I've never left it because, it was as similar as that people call it when we're training. We were just interviewing some people today that home, not, getting there. And then once you get there, how critical, plumbing is to that whole scenario. And when it goes wrong, people are panicked because their home is not when it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Right.
You're driven out of your home.
Right.
And it produces all kinds of terrible problems.
Oh, yeah.
And so when they call in, the first thing is, we've got you. It's going to be all right, because home is critical to us. I keep saying that. I might as well just put it on a recording and I have to sit back. But I guess that's what drives me is that I see the same thing. It is that people are in desperate need. They're terrified. They call. They think they're going to get ripped off. They don't know if they've got enough money. What will this be? What's going to happen in my home? How will I make my mortgage payment to Habitat for Humanity? All of this stuff. And it's our job to get it done and somehow keep the costs down. That's our biggest problem.
Right.
Finding the skill set, which interests me when you're trying to do these homes and everything. I can only imagine. You said you have a nice business plan, and then I was going to say, and then we start the construction phase, and the whole world starts showing us. Of course, we're going to have a hurricane right now.
Oh man, yeah.
That's part of it. But that everything that centers around the home touches lives in a huge way, and you can take advantage of people. And our goal is never to do that. So we have to really, everything has to be checked. Every invoice has to be checked, and we have to just watch it like a hawk. But because I will not drive that bus, as they say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I am super thrilled to be sitting here and on this journey. This is going to be a really good partnership.
No, I feel so as well. I mean, we're already having fun. It's only going to get better.
That's true. That's awesome. And home is important. I recently did the Ancestry DNA.
Oh, good for you. I want to do it, but I'm an okay boomer. So, don't say okay around me. I don't want that title. I'm going to write a funny song about it because I think it's hysterical. But
I recently did it, and I realized that ever since pretty much slavery, my entire family has been around North Carolina in the same area.
Oh, wow.
Both sides, like a little north of Charlotte. So I've been looking at homes in Charlotte, and prices are crazy there too. I might need a Habitat. But you're right. Like, so if somebody wants to, if their family's from Savannah, they've always been in Savannah, and they can't afford a home, but they want to be home.
Yes. Yeah.
What other option do they have?
Yeah.
Except Habitat.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you guys are doing great work, and I'm excited for the Royal Flush Night.
Well, the whole thing, that's what I'm saying. When you can do all of that fun, and then you end up with something. How many homes did you?
151 are completed.
I mean, with this, what we
7. It's going to be going into our 2020 Building Futures campaign, which has a goal of raising $400,000 in private funding, and then we'll leverage that with mortgage income and some of our other funding to be able to, to go ahead and get those 7 homes done.
It's kind of like buying the match to launch the rocket.
That's right.
It's unreal. I love it.
But the thing that's also so wonderful about it, it's kind of, okay, so let's go back to the house analogy, right? So you've got the plumbing system, you've got the mechanical, which is the electrical, the heating and cooling, the wood and all that type of thing. That's the same way we put all the pieces together in terms of their in-kind donations, the financial donations from all these different sources to build those homes.
Yeah.
And what's interesting, a lot of times people say, well, just write a grant, get somebody outside the community to put stuff in. Well, it doesn't work like that because those donors are going to sit down, they're going to go, hold on a moment, what's your local community doing? So when you're able to say, hey, look at this event, look at all these people who came together, look what they were able to do, then it makes you that much more competitive to bring resources from outside.
Oh, now you fired me up. The goal is formulating very clearly because I also see it as I envision 10, 15, I'm just that way. I used to say 5, now it seems like you have to think 10 years out or more. But concerns about the construction industry and the skill sets that we have a beginnings of a school. I do the licensing and all of this and teaching, and we're getting more serious about some other things. But to increase that, to make sure the next generation is covered, because we're in trouble there, and that's a kind of a negative. But the positive is that people are starting to wake up, and that this would highlight you to the construction industry, because I don't want this to be the one time,
Right.
But even after this event, that we start trying to pull everybody together in a new way. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm a dreamer. And so I always, say, why not? Because you don't know till you try.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about it. I mean, I think the beauty of, let's say, a Habitat for Humanity's model is the fact that you can use it also as a training tool, right? So, we did a house last year with the Youth Build program, trying to expose young adults who are working on their GEDs to also being able to go back and acquire some construction skills. We know we're certainly feeling the impact. I'm sure you are.
Oh my goodness.
We have a major labor shortage for people, particularly in the construction industry and in all of the trades. That's.
Excuse me while I don't talk, because as you talk, my mind is mapping out some programs that I could see that could happen in the future that could solve that. I think, oh my goodness, I know this is radio, so I'm going to keep jabbering away, but because I'm just sitting here going, oh my goodness, I see some. It's formulating up there very clearly. We need to talk seriously for the future. This is one of the best sit downs I've ever had.
Well, good. Yeah.
Okay,
know.
We'll thank Raz and thank you.
I do. I remember that you have been quiet because I'm a yacker. Raz is the best person to interview. I don't know why you let me do this. You're the best person to interview I have ever been with.
Well, thank you.
And
we had something special the last time, so people should go back and listen. To the episode we did.
Yeah. I wasn't a blonde. You didn't recognize me if I first walked up, did you?
No, I didn't. It sounds like strut. And then I was like, yes, sir.
I'm trying out my new knee. I thought they were going to cast me in the next Planet of the Apes because of the way I would lurch when I walk with my bad knee. And they put you through therapy. So anybody that's listening that's going to have a new knee, especially the ladies, they're going to tell you when you're in recovery, heel down, roll through the hip. That's how you walk. You've got to practice walking that way. And my assistant and good friend put little stickies all over my house to remind me. And finally, I actually was graduated today. I don't have to do it anymore. That's physical therapy. But you know what it is walking like a chick. That's what it is. So think female and strut your stuff, and you will walk like you're supposed to walk. Or put some high heels on, because that balances you. And so I'm surprised you recognize me as my whole long around the world point, because I'm trying not to walk like the old me, trying to hold myself up,
Yeah.
I was so bent over just trying to get there,
Well,
and
you look great.
I'm so on fire about this. And then one of the reasons I went ahead and did the knee, because I want to have fun that night. I want to be able to go and see people, and we'll be at Savannah Station again. And they do have those steps up and down from the bar area and everything into the thing. But do you put on-demand tankless in the homes that you build?
We do not.
Okay.
We do not, because
tell your homeowners to come to the Royal Flush Casino night, because that's going to be one of the main prizes. I think it's a Navion. I think I'm pronouncing it's new.
Right.
They solved the problem with the long draw to get the water once it started heating.
Yes.
You got the demand. They got some kind of thermal couplings that they go in and configure it to each home, but it's recirculating.
Oh, okay.
And I had bought a pump to go and put in my attic to sort of solve my problem. That I don't have to do. I'm getting an having apparently.
Right.
And it's just amazing what they can come up with. And it's a Navigator or a Navilink on your phone, so you can control it from your phone, and it studies you and learns when you like your bath, how hot you want it. It has everything ready for you.
Wow.
We're gonna be my car is spoiled now. My tankless is gonna be spoiled, but they're giving that away. We are giving that away. Ferguson's Supply has donated the unit, and we're putting in. I'm trying to get my numbers right here. I got some cheat notes. Hold on a minute. I want to make sure I get it right. It is $1,500 worth of labor and parts. Who did this sheet? I did that sheet. It's terrible. Somebody needs to fuss at me. Okay. The materials and parts we've got estimated at $2,000.
Right.
The labor we've got estimated around $1,500, $2,800 valuation on all the things you would need. So it's a $6,300.
Wow.
Whopper of a prize.
That is a
hubba. All you have to do is come buy 2 tickets and come gamble the night away, trade them in for some raffle tickets, and pop them in that little box. And when we draw at the end, somebody's going to walk away with it. Somebody's going to get it. That's just one prize.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited.
We've got cash too this year.
Okay. That's what I need.
Last year, Roto-Rooter put up $1,000 in cash. This year, we got $2,000 prizes.
Awesome.
Because people need money.
That's awesome.
If you won both of them, you could halfway to a down payment on a home.
There you go. Well, you're over. Yeah. Because we ask once someone is selected into our program, it's going to take about 12 to 18 months for them to do this sweat equity, to do the classes, work on homes and that sort of thing. Because, on the one hand, on the surface, 350 doesn't sound like a lot. But think about it. If you're working 1 to 2 jobs, we've got to figure out when you're going to be able to get those hours in as well, and that as well. So during that time, people are saving a little bit every month towards our down payment, which is applied towards the costs of closing, and then also for their first year of homeowners insurance. So
it's not only it's a whole. I mean, it shows you how life works. Is what you're doing. Now, that's what I was wondering. We teach. They already have the structure because these people that qualify have a steady life. They've understand that. Yes, we get up and we go when we don't want to, and we all do that.
Right.
But they already have that, and giving them those other keys of understanding how it all works. And I love it. I love it. Because that's it. That kind of knowledge is, what they called it, wealth. 100 Black Men does it. And they call it, is it wealth education or wealth training or something?
Something like
where
that.
you learn about money and how money works, and you learn to, I'm just drawing blanks. That's because I was up doing all these prizes last night and I didn't get my sleep. But when you put something off, delayed gratification.
Yes.
It's the key to success in life. It's the key to everything is delayed gratification. And this process takes people through that and demonstrates it in a real amazing way. And I can't imagine what it would. I'm going to start crying. I'm sorry. I'm a super emotional lady. And when I got this knee done, people came out of the woodwork, friends, business people, and poured their lives into mine to help me. It was Christmas, and it was the feeling I had of feeling that kind of love. I've always been so busy and trying to help others. You don't feel it yourself sometimes.
Right.
And I don't want to be a burden and the whole thing that people have. And I was stuck in a chair. And they finally they had like an intervention and sat me down. What are you going to do about your surgery? You're going to tell us you're not leaving this room. You've got to have plans, and we're going to be there. And they were everybody.
Right.
So what would it feel like to have all these people come out and help you build your home side by side, day after day? What is that doing, not to the home, but to the interior, like you're saying? This is where the magic is, the interior and the heart of that family and those people. And this country needs more of that.
Right.
Totally.
That's very true.
Totally.
That's the human experience. It's always been a community where people are always helping each other,
Barn
Just
raising or whatever they used to call it.
Barn raising.
That's what I felt when you started talking.
Yeah.
It reminds me of how they used to do that. And
now everything's so separated. Like we're also in our own little bubbles that we never step out and really try to help. But Habitat allows us to help.
And I think you in addition to that, it's the barn raising mentality. I think it's a great, and that's something I think we also hold in trust, right? As Habitat is, as we've moved, as we're moving our offices, we're cleaning and sorting through probably 20 to 25 years of plans. And, I was looking at just the addresses on those plans and going, right, in these houses, this piece of paper translated into a house, which became a home. And, being able to say, okay, well, I've met this homeowner who's subsequently paid off her mortgage.
That's heaven.
Right. And so you look at, you look at that sense. And I think you're right. I mean, when you're out in a Habitat site, you can't be in a bubble.
Right.
Okay. Number one, we're not going to allow you to have any earphones in because from a safety point of view, we want you to know what's going on around you. And so you're engaging with people that you maybe normally do not engage with. And I think that's a very, very healthy part. And
you need to come with me because I engage with everybody because that's what this is all about.
Yeah.
Living is about people.
Yes.
And that's what's so great about the Royal Flush Casino night.
Right.
It's because we broke the mold. And that was what I kept hearing last year. Every kind of person, everybody's here. It's not the same old people, and we want the same old people. But we also want to be inclusive and have come. This is not the usual thing.
Right.
This is not, and the more I know, if you're listening to this and you aren't fired up and excited, there's something wrong because we'll just have to keep putting the message out because this is the key.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how much involved and what was going on. This is the School of Life. Habitat's a School of Life. Because it touches on every key point that people need to know to be successful in their living and happy.
Well, and I think you go back to that the thing about our model. The difference between us and let's say and other builders is, you're coming in and you're buying a home that's probably done, right? In our case, it's the delayed gratification, it's the hard work. But I think also, the other thing is people, our home buyers, because of that life experience that they've had, enrich our lives because of the fact that they say, if we don't get it done this week, it'll be done and it's done next week. A lot of times, you try and get those final inspections in and you write up on and we're pulling our hair out. That's why I don't have much left. And so we'll say, it's okay. Yeah. We'll get to it. It's going to be beautiful. So, and then once a house is completed and we've closed on it and the partner families moved in and they settled, then we do a dedication service. So we invite back people who've worked on the home, the donors that have made it possible, and we do a small ceremony just to kind of give thanks. That's when a lot of times, people just look at that and they can see what
love does.
What love does. Love in action
Selfless
is about.
Love. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Now, are furnishings provided? Are the homes furnished and designed and interior design?
We do not do that.
Okay.
Essentially we meet. No, because a lot of times families already have
Yes.
items, or a lot of times that also allows others to step in. You know, so a lot of times that's when the wider family will come in and say, "Hey, you know, let's."
That's what I love to do. I love to go talk to someone, find out how they function. Design for me is about how a person lives and functions and what they love. And you do integrate. I'm the cheap designer because I believe in using everything you can and
Right.
find and being original and advising on how to best use space. A lot of people don't understand how space can work for them.
Right.
And that is key, especially if you have someone that has handicap issues and that kind of thing.
Right.
It's amazing what just simply, I'll sometimes see, you know, I can't do it. I'm too busy, but I would love, that would be such a dream for retirement. If I ever retired, I would do something like that.
Right.
Because then, oh my goodness, it's a full, complete package. It's amazing.
So what happens? One of the areas or places where our homeowners do sweat equity, their sweat equity is down at our restore, and a lot of times that's where they'll start going, "Oh, hold on a moment, that would look really, really good."
There you go.
You know, so those are, you know, that's certainly one thing that I see a lot of.
Yeah, yeah. And see, for me, I'm redoing my home. It's very slow because I keep finding things to. I'll never finish my house if I don't stop doing other things. But I wanted to have those old feelings. I can't live downtown, and I'm finding things that people are pulling out of these beautiful old homes. And like I found an 8-foot fireplace with columns that came out of a home on Jones Street, and I now have that. It was a patio home,
Right.
But when you step in, we made our own old-fashioned transoms,
Right.
and everything. Made the doors, you know, and all of the what I call picture framing and all that. I just love having millwork, and just I wanted to evoke that feeling. The house is not any bigger, you know. I just repurposed everything. I call it aging in place.
Yeah. Right.
And it's that feeling of creating a feeling is there for me. And so when you start talking about homes, I go nuts. But I've got to finally finish the thing.
So you can live in it.
I'm living in it now.
Yeah,
I lived in it through the entire production.
Oh, wow.
We're talking, the only thing that got tough was 1 year of ram board in a kitchen that wasn't there for a few years. And let me go on and on.
That's it.
But the way it is now, everybody sees my vision.
Yeah.
I
Right.
know it. You know, I did I was like the designer for the moving the walls, and I got an engineer to help.
Gotcha.
You know,
Right,
but
right, sure.
I can do the other. But it's like I said, I can't imagine being these people because that's how I feel. It feels new, even though I'm in that house.
Right.
I walk in that room and I see something there, and so if they have a dream, that would be cool. I guess you do that sometimes, incorporate something if somebody has a special dream or a piece or a memory.
Well, in essence, we when we design our homes and build them, we want to make sure that somebody's able to age in that home.
Yes.
So we look at issues on the front end in terms of accessibility.
Yes.
So people can age in place. You hit on a big theme because that's a growing need.
Yes.
Because so many of the homeowners in the United States, in our community as well, are aging. And so, it's a natural process. It's going to happen, right? But I think being able to keep people in their homes, in their neighborhoods, because they're anchors. And when a neighborhood loses those anchors, if you don't already have another group of homeowners coming in, then it's very easy for a neighborhood to start spiraling down, which reduces wealth, which reduces property values, and that sort of thing. So we look at it from our point of view. We tell our home buyers up front, we're not a custom builder. We're going to get you your foot in the door, because we have had some homeowners. It's my third affiliate. Where the Habitat home has given them that essential stability, that foundation to get started. And then they've gone back, become a nurse, and then come out of that and said, well, okay, now I'm going to look, my life circumstances have changed for the positive, And so I'd like to look at selling my habitat house and moving up to something else.
Yes.
But
launch
having
pad,
that,
as
it's
we-
a launch
yeah,
pad.
Yes.
So, but the overwhelming number of habitat homeowners remain in that home. So we want to make sure they're able to do that.
Awesome.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So 2 final questions, and I usually ask those at the top of the show, and so I'm pretty sure I asked you before.
Okay.
I asked you first, Harold. Scenario: you're walking through your neighborhood, a little kid comes up to you and says, "Harold,
yeah.
you're my hero. I want to be like you when I grow up." So, in the language that a 10 or 12-year-old can understand, what does it take to be Harold Tessendorf?
It takes being curious about the world. It takes loving people and wanting to serve others. And finding ways to share.
Okay.
How does that sound?
Sounds good to me.
It's one of the best questions ever.
It is a great question.
It makes you think. Do you think?
Yeah, I was like,
Immediately,
oh my gosh.
goodness.
While he was starting to say it, I said, why didn't you ask Sherry that question first?
I don't remember what I said last time. There's no telling.
What would you say now? It's new you, new hair, new D,
One thing that comes to me is I was in a Bible study group one time, and they wanted to say who's the bravest person you know. I didn't say it at the time, but I wanted to say me because I was terrified. I had all these horrible things that every Lifetime movie, and
Right.
I could write 16 of them. And it was just terrible, terrible, terrible. And so I was just terrified of everything, everybody, and yet I do it anyway. And just normal life was tough, And so I think now is that you can see that I'm aging a little. I don't admit that I'm aging, but I know it. I know that this is that last part of my life that I'm going Betty White on it. I'm serious. That lady is inspiring. I totally intend to go for it. Since you've met, I've learned to drive a mini excavator and operate that, and I love it. Driving a 40-foot RV with opposable slides.
No.
And just going for it. Took up electric guitar too now, and just there's no end. Go for it. And you know me, I'm going to say it. You should take life like a wash rag and wring everything you can out of it until it's dry. Just wring it out because it's precious. People are precious. Time is precious. And what you do is precious. Totally. I mean, this whole thing is it's so perfect.
Right.
It is.
It certainly
I mean, I'm a perfectionist. And so I'm going to start analyzing everything and explaining to you what you need to change because I'm one of those horrible people. I can't find anything. The system is amazing. It really is.
That's beautiful. I like that.
End of it, I guess.
I'm gonna keep that as my memory bank to just treat life like a wash rag.
Yeah.
Wring it all out. For sure.
Yeah, I get it. Now, you'll get criticized. Morning. People will, I get criticized all the time. You have too much going on, Had someone get mad at me. And they keep saying, you still working all the time? Yes, I love it.
Right.
Yeah, what's the alternative?
How many more jobs can I make with great insurance and how many more opportunities can we make? And how much more can we do? And I'm not stopping.
Yeah, and you're winning. That's what a friend told me the other day. Like you're busy, you're going crazy, but you're winning. Like you're living life, you're happy
every day.
Yeah, so like why stop?
I can't imagine. People sometimes say things to me too because they know I've got pain issues and all this stuff. And I said, I figured it out. If you whine, gripe, and complain, and if I catch myself doing it, I have to really have a little talk, slap myself, stop it. But if you sit around, misery loves company. That's what we always heard.
Right.
And I said it last time too because I always tell people this. I discovered pretty early, thank God, that positivity draws the crowd. And focusing outside of yourself, like I said, my friend said, call this woman. She
Right.
instinctively knew to tell me to do that. So yes, I talk too much. Yes, I've got way too much going on. You know, I wake up in the morning and yes, my body tells me you're older, you know, and I might hear it, but meanwhile, my brain's getting busy thinking about what I'm going to do today. You know, what problem did I solve while I was asleep? Now I know where to go, what direction to go in. And I'm not going to, sadly, I'm not changing. Mm-hmm. I'm going to keep improving it and perfecting this idea of how to go about life. Because that's it. Be brave, go do it. Mm-hmm. Don't care what people think. Mm-hmm. You know, and when they get on the site with Habitat, I can't do it. That's okay, right?
Yeah, somebody will show you.
Or we'll show you.
Yeah, we'll show you how to do it.
See, and that's how you learn.
We tell folk is show up with a willing set of hands and a willing heart, and we can make the rest happen. Yep. Because attitude is what 95%. So as my son says, you know, attitude is catchy. Is yours worth catching?
Ooh, like. So.
And my final question: if you had a superpower or ability, what would you choose and why?
Is Sherry going first this time?
No.
I'm going to start crying.
What would my superpower would be?
Mine's good. You better think hard.
That's all.
It's the same. You want me to whisper mine and we'll say the same time?
Yeah, why don't we do that?
Okay, come here.
I love that.
To make everyone selfless overnight. That would solve everything.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just realized somebody said the definition of love the other day, and it made a lot of sense to me. And love is when you treat someone else as well as you want to treat yourself.
If the building's on fire, this is something everybody needs to look at themselves. If the building's on fire, are you thinking, I got to get out of here? Or are you thinking, I got to get me and who else? Does someone need help? Mm-hmm. That's key. Mm-hmm. And if everybody would think, how do we get out of here? The world would change. Yeah. And I don't know how you make it happen, but I'm a dreamer.
Yeah. But you can make it happen, at least locally.
I got on a Beatle shirt, you know, I have to dream.
I know. I should have took mine off. I have a Star Wars shirt on.
Oh, yes.
Hence the superpower.
Now, I have a jacket on, so I'm trying to be professional. But still, it's, you know, that's, and laughing, too. It's just people forget to laugh. Yeah. We get to be adults, and we think we're supposed to be so serious. And I fight that tooth and nail. I do. If it gets too serious, I'm going to do something stupid just to watch everybody laugh.
Cool. Well, thank you guys for coming by.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for having us.
It's been great. Again, how can people get in contact with you? How can they get involved with Royal Flush, the Royal Flush night?
The Royal Flush, go first. Let's do that first.
If you want to get in touch with us at Royal Flush, we have a contact person who's in this room. Who's not going to be my friend anymore. Would you please come over here and tell us? All right. You want to push the mic over there where she can just tell us and doesn't have to get in the view.
We have our, you can always go on our social media website. We're at Roto-Rooter Savannah. We love likes. So first of all, go there and make sure that you like us so you can get all of our postings and updates. And then we also have a page dedicated to the Royal Flush Casino Night. You can go there as well. We have a link that directly goes to the site so that you can purchase your tickets. Tickets are going like crazy. We were already selling the minute that they posted the link. So you want to make sure that you go there and also keep your eyes on the page daily because we will start putting different announcements as far as prizes and different details in regards to the event so that we can go ahead and just get even more hyped up for it.
I don't think I could get any more.
And if that doesn't help any, you can always call our office, 341-ROTO. That's more easier to remember. And just ask them, can I please talk to the lady about the Royal Flush Casino Night? In case you can't remember that, my name is Tina.
Perfect. Thank you, Tina. All right. Tina's been on the mic.
I was going to say, Tina will be... Tina just revealed us a hidden talent, didn't she?
Yes, she right, well, cool. Well, thank you guys for coming.
Thank
Thank you so much.
As I always say, everybody out there, thank you for listening. Love you guys. Be the change you want to see in the world. You don't have to have $1 billion to make a change.
That's the truth.
Go down the road and tell somebody you love them. So I love you, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Peace.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.